Hello everybody, it's me, your boy back here, TB, SMB. Today, Monday, we gotta talk about what went down in the market today. Market hasn't even closed, but I'm just sitting here so bored out of my mind with today's price action. I cannot sit through another second. I have to do something to distract myself. And I says, why not just get this video out there? I don't think anything's gonna change. Nothing is gonna change in the next 20 minutes. I guarantee it. We're not closing below 408. We're not closing above 411. Can guarantee you that. So we're gonna make that video today. And just today, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? If you watched my video from yesterday, I told you. I says to you, hey, we're going to get downside. We're not, this is unsustainable. You look at the daily on the SP500, this is unsustainable. We're not doing this all year. We're not going to continue to do this every day. Just continue going straight up. We're not going up 6 times 12. What did I say that was? We're not going up that much. The SP can't go up that much in a year. So we knew this was going to happen. We knew we were going to get this controlled pullback. Very controlled, heavily controlled. And now you're saying, hey, it's a red. How could this be bullish if it's a red day? The average casual would say something like that. And to them, I would laugh in their face because I says, you cannot just go straight up. But when you get pullbacks, you want to see pullbacks like this, where it's like, we're going to get a doji on the daily. Look at this volume, bro. Look at that volume. It is nothing. This volume is abysmal. We're barely even going to close above maybe 50 million shares traded on the day, which is insane. That will be the lowest volume we've had all year today, unless we get a crazy spike of volume here in the next 20 minutes. This will be the lowest volume we've had on the year, which is incredibly bullish. It's fantastic that even with the market making such a huge rally to the upside, insane rally to the upside, even after that, the bears, they can't do much of anything. They have no volume. They're not pulling it down. We basically, so let's look at today's price action. We gap down. And we're right there. We're right at where we gap down. We've just chopped sideways. It's just been a liquidity sweep, fake out trap day on both sides. I mean, just nightmarish. Like right here, boom. Liquidity sweep, and we push up. And what I mean by liquidity sweep, fake out, they pull in the liquidity, the dumb money, people that see a break of this high, and they go, wow, break of this high, I'm going to get calls. So they grab calls, and what do? They sell the market straight back down. And then over here, look at this. Hey, we broke this low. Look at this little wick on this candle. You see that? Hey, we broke this low. We're going down. I'll buy a put. And what's the market do? It goes straight up. Oh, look at this. We broke the low over here. You see this big whip? Boom. Big wick down. And people grab puts. And what's it do? It just goes straight back up. That's what the market is doing today, because they are going to make their money one way or the other. Even on a day when there's no volume, when nothing's happening, the market maker is going to make their money. So you don't want to just give them that money. On days like this, you just do not want to trade it unless you're like an insanely precise scalper, because look, they did it right here. They did it again right here at the end of the day. Look at this. Look at that. You see that recent low? You see that low over here? You might think, hey, if we break that low, we could see some downside. Look at this. It breaks that low on this candle. We get a big wick. And look at the volume. No volume. The second we break it, huge wick, massive buying volume. It just goes the exact opposite way. So unless you're trading, you're a great range trader and you know how to find those liquidity sweeps, then you don't really want to trade a day like today, which is why I'm thrilled I didn't, because I wanted to, because, I mean, it's been such a hot market. You know, I'm starting to be like antsy. I'm like looking for the trades, but there's just nothing. You look at the hourly today, just nothing. Barcoding. Looking at the Nasdaq 100, same thing, just barcoding on the hourly, just nothing. We're still in this bullish consolidation pattern, this little bull flag here. So we basically, on the SP500, I forgot to mention, we bounced right off this previous resistance, which is amazing. I said that yesterday. I was like, I would love if we could hold 408.20, and sure enough, what do? We bounced off of that almost about 10 cents off. Yeah, 10 cents off. 408.10, we bounced right off of that. So that's phenomenal. You love to see that. As for this next couple days, I'm still not expecting a lot of green. I still think we could do a bit more choppy consolidation kind of days. These low volume red days are just immaculate. I can't even think of the word. They're great. You love to see these kind of days. Looking at the Nasdaq 100, we are just right at where we gapped down, basically. We're still there. And same thing, NASDAQ did the exact same thing. Just liquidity sweep after liquidity sweep, just fake out. Here, oh, we break this high up here. Buy calls right there, right? Buy some calls. What's going to happen? And nope, just go the other way. They're always going to make their money. These people are going to make their money. They're evil. They're going to take your money. You don't want to be dumb money buying this because you can see the volume. The volume is just nothing. Look at the volume on this candle. You break that. Look at that volume. You think that's convincing volume? You think that is convincing enough volume on a break of this previous high to send the market all the way up, to send the market up to this resistance? You really think that's going to happen on this volume? I mean, you got to use your head. You got to use your head on days like today. And that's why I ask you to consider to subscribe and hit the bell for notification on my videos. I think I give you guys some good information. And hey, if you would have seen my video yesterday, you would have known to come into the day with very low expectations for the price action, because yeah, it's been bad, and it doesn't look bearish to me. It doesn't look bearish whatsoever. The same thing. Look at this volume on the Nasdaq. Just nothing. Just nothing. You look at the buy volume. It's not even going to be half of the volume. It's barely going to be half of the volume that we had on Friday. Not even maybe half the volume we had on Thursday. I mean, just nothing. So this is phenomenal. This is exactly what you want to see at when rallies start to slow down. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see these low volume sell-off days, and not even really a sell-off, just a 1%. I mean, the Nasdaq's gone up. How far has it gone up? I know it went up 10% last month, but how far has it come? Yeah, Nasdaq's up 20% from its lows over here in January. So to give back a few percent of that is completely fine. And if you look on these pullbacks, this is what the Nasdaq has been doing. God, my chart is disgusting. Let's go to NDX. This is exactly what the Nasdaq's been doing every single time. We rally 5%, and then we pull back 2.5%. And then what do? We rally another 5.5%, and then we pull back about 3.5%. And then guess what comes next? We rally, big rally this time, 6%. And then what happens? We pull back about 3%. So let's look at the next pullback. Same thing, pull back about 2.5%, 3% basically. What are we doing right now? Right now, pulling back about 3.5%. So this is completely just in the structure of what the market has been doing. It's completely within the trend. Nothing's changed here. And I think a lot of people are just, I mean, you look on Twitter and you're seeing some bad bear takes. I mean, they're clinging on to anything right now to get this market to dump. But the market is just not going to dump right now unless we get some news. They need like terrible news to come out, and no one can see that. No one has a crystal ball. But the bears are just like, they're scraping at the bottom of the bucket trying to get anything. And they see a day like today and they start to think, yep, this is it. We're dumping. And I did the exact same thing. I'm not afraid to, out myself on my mistakes. I did the exact same thing back here on the 18th of January. We got a big dump of a day, a 1% down, followed by another percent, or about 1.5% down on the 18th, and then followed by another percent down. Now, mind you, we had only rallied a very small half of the actual rally. We'd rallied about 9% off of these lows back from the end of the year. So I see this dump off, and I'm thinking, yep, this is clearly just bear market rally. Time to get some long-dated puts. And then what's the market do? It just clapped me right in the face at 2.5%, 2%, and I got completely clowned, and that was when it kind of hit me. I'm like, hey, I cannot fight the trend. The trend is clearly at this point up. And same thing happened over here. We dumped 2% Monday, the 30th of January, and people were probably buying puts, long-dated puts, saying, yep, this is it, because these bears, what do? They look back at these past bear market rallies, and they think to themselves, man, imagine if I should have been buying puts on the SP 500 or the Nasdaq up here at 1367. Why wasn't I buying puts? And then they saw this and they were like, I should have been buying puts at 1325 on the Nasdaq, but I didn't. So now this time they says to themselves, this will be the time that I bought puts when everyone else was getting bullish. But what they aren't doing is they are not zooming out and looking at the structure of this rally compared to previous rallies, and looking at the volume. More importantly, the volume of this rally is very much telling us that it is serious. Look at this rally back in August. You could see the volume. Look at it. It's just going down. As August began and this rally kept going up, the buying volume is just non-existent. Look how low this is. As opposed to this one, where as we go higher, the volume increases. Very important that we see that. None of these past rallies have really done this. This one back in March, what happened? What happened to the one back in March? Volume just started to decline. The higher the market got, the lower the volume began to rise. And then you see the volume pick up on the selling side. So that was your signal. Hey, this was a fake rally. I got trapped because now look at who controls the market, the bears. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Over here in July, boom, we top out. You know, it's very low selling volume, but it's higher than the previous buying volume at the peak, right? See, that's what's different this time. We have very high buying at the peak, very low selling coming off of that peak. Over here, it was very low buying at the peak with very low selling, but then once it got lower, the bulls were just gone. There was no bulls over here in August, and then the bears stepped in. Then the volume picked up, and then the bears controlled the market, and we just sold off all the way until October. So, just trying to get you guys to not get a little too bearish too soon. You believe me, I'm ready to get bearish. I was trying to get bearish way over here. Like, believe me, I'm ready. I'm not sitting here like, oh, please God, don't go down. You know, if it does, then I'm ready to flip, sell everything and go short. I don't care. Because I react to the market. I don't predict it. But right now, I'm reacting to what we're being given, which is very, very low volume. And it's shocking because it's such a low volume after a massive rally. I mean, the S&P, it rallied like 7% over the span of 24 hours. And we've come off quite a bit. I mean, 1.5% off. Now we're about 1% off. But still, we haven't even given back a fifth of this rally. I mean, we've given back none of it. And it's just no volume, man. I mean, so these things are... You gotta look at everything. You gotta look all around. So let's look live, see what the Nasdaq's doing. Now it looks like, hey, we're pushing up. Look at this. We're pushing into the close because look, they swept a bunch of sellers. A bunch of sellers are grabbing puts right here. So now they're punishing them. I mean, this days like today are just to do anything else. This is the whole point of the stock market is to leverage your time. That is the entire. That's why people do this stuff. They don't do it because it's not like digging ditches. It's not like working construction. You're working 12-hour days on an oil rig. This is all about leveraging your time. A lot of people they're done within the first hour of the day. That's what this entire job. That's the whole point of it, really. So why would you be wasting your time trying to trade something like this? Just it's a complete waste of time. And that was very, very difficult for me to learn early on. So that's why I say that over and over and over again, because there are just like markets you just don't want to touch, because the times will get good. They always do. The market isn't going anywhere. You got to remember that. It's not going anywhere. Just because you missed this rally, we're probably going to get another one someday, or we're going to get another rug pull and you can go short. There's always going to be something in the future. It's not going anywhere. So quit feeling like a FOMO idiot. Like I have to make money today. Just don't do that stuff. Wait for the market to give you reason to trade. So let's talk a little bit about AMD. AMD has pulled back quite a bit. We're down 3% on AMD. And now AMD led the semis up. It just went crazy. And same exact thing on AMD. Look at the selling volume. Just nothing. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. AMD rips up this high, and this is all the bears can do. This is all they can do is these little 2 red days down here. This is it. I mean, come on. Are you serious right now? AMD couldn't even get up here, and it hasn't been up here since September. And the bears, this is where they step back in. AMD looks great to the upside still. I'm not buying the dip yet. I think AMD has room to the downside still. I think AMD still can pull back to 81.58. I'm a buyer there on AMD personally, because this has just really not come down that much. But right now, it looks good to the upside still. I just want it a little cheaper. And if it doesn't get to that price, then I don't care. NVIDIA is just, it's back in the driver's seat for semis, which is great. I prefer NVIDIA to be driving the car instead of AMD, because AMD can get a little crazy sometimes. They can have a little too much to drink and get behind the wheel when it shouldn't. NVIDIA is just sideways on the day. I mean, same thing for NVIDIA. Look at, I mean, are you serious right now? I mean, it is a shooting star, big wick to the upside, but still very high volume. Still, and it's not really selling volume. It's mostly buying volume on AMD or NVIDIA. Just keeping it sideways, man. It's crazy. Big buys in the morning, and it's so strong to the upside still. NVIDIA still to the upside, still so strong even after this crazy rally. Obviously, very bullish consolidation pattern. Gotta love that, because like I said, NVIDIA cannot. It's not going to keep up this pace. NVIDIA went up 50% over the month of January. What's it going to go up 800% the entire year? Come on. Can't keep that up. But it can still continue. It just has to consolidate. So that's great for NVIDIA. Google, they had some news today that they are coming out with a Chat GPT competitor against Microsoft, which is great. And I would love to get into Google. If we can see Google pull back a little bit more, I want to see Google hold 101, but below that, I'd be a little worried on Google, but Google is just, what can you say about Google? I think the overreaction to its shitty earnings is just going to get bought up. I mean, it's dumped from that earnings, and now there's a nice little dip to buy. But I would love to see it mount over that 200-day moving average and mount above 105, like actually hold 105, not this. This was just a fake out. It held one day of 105, and then the next day it closed below 105. So if we can re-break 105, mount it, get support around there, see some actual consolidation at that level, then I love Google to the upside for like a long-term play. But Apple, speaking of maniac stocks that are insane, Apple, as we talked about on Sunday, it's having that hangover from that post-earnings day, which it just went absolutely bonkers. So this is the same thing. Like, really, this is all the bears have on Apple. This was all the bears could muster on Apple. After this day on Friday, this is all they could do. They could, I mean, it's down 2%, which sounds like a lot for Apple, but look at this daily candle it's next to. It's like 3 times its size. This is all the bears could do, bro. So it's mounting above. I love it. Above the 200-day moving average right now, which is it's holding at the moment at 147.78. Below that, I'd be a little worried because obviously you can see why this is such a massive level now. This is clear. We have a massive gap down below that to 146.65. So support there would be massive for Apple, but it might not even get there, man. Apple, I talked about that. Apple can do this. Apple did this back in 2022. Imagine if we go to a real bull market, what's Apple going to do? I mean, it did this in the middle of a bear market. It went up 37%, just straight up in the middle of a goddamn bear market. What do you think Apple could do in a bull market, boy? Come on. Come on, man. What can Apple do in a real bull market? Let's see it. Damn. Anyways, what else was I going to talk about? Amazon it's had a rough reaction to earnings. I don't love Amazon right now. Amazon can ignore what the market does. Amazon is capable of that. It can absolutely ignore what the market does. But today it had a nice dip, and it bought up that dip, and it is closing a little higher than I thought it would. But their earnings were pretty rough, and the reaction was extreme, down 8.5% the day after. But still, same thing. Look at the volume. Just nothing. Just nothing. There's nothing there, man. Come on, are you serious? Looking at Square. Square is pretty weak, but we knew this was going to happen. We knew Square. I kind of wish I took profits on Friday. I was up slightly. I thought about it, but then I'm in a very small position on Square. I almost sold on Friday. We held, and now I was expecting this dip, and completely controlled dip, completely no volume, just nothing. I mean, this was the volume we had at the literal bottom of the year last year. Not the bottom of the year, but the bottom of December. Like, look at the selling volume, 27th of, now mind you, this is the day after Christmas, but just insanely low volume, super low selling volume on Square, way lower than the buying. Looks amazing. I love Square to the upside right now. And it's not going to see these prices anytime soon because they've kind of, what's the word? Diluted their shares a little bit. But, yeah, Square looks fantastic. I don't know what to tell you. Now, Datadog, this is another one I bought. I like this sector. I like it more than Cloudflare. Cloudflare, things about that company worry me. The CEO has been selling off stock the entire last year like crazy. That's never a good look. It's like Elon with Tesla, except Tesla is a very profitable company, and Cloudflare is hardly profitable. This one is slightly more profitable. I like it because of that. Cloudflare has diluted shares massively. That's why some of these stocks are never going to see these all-time highs, because people don't consider the fact that they were selling. These companies were diluting their own shares throughout the entire year of 2022 to give themselves some money because it was such a rough year. So that's why you have to take that in consideration. A lot of these stocks ain't going to see these all-time highs in a very long time because they diluted shares. So they just need to go up that much more in value to eventually see these prices that they used to be at. And I think a lot of people don't do that when they FOMO in the stocks. But Datadog has been looking rough, man. I mean, these wicks, it went to fill the gap this morning. It was looking great. Pretty solid volume. And then just fizzled out. So Datadog has been rough, and it's got a big gap to the upside. It is sold off a lot from where I bought it, of course. That's the way she goes usually. But as long as Datadog can find support at 72, I'm not concerned. Below that, I'm a little concerned on Datadog because it is struggling. But Cloudflare has earnings this week, so that will definitely affect it. Sympathy from that. But that's all I got for you guys. And I can't say it enough, man. Just don't get too bearish too soon. I'm ready to get bearish. I think there's plenty of reasons to get bearish when the time comes, but the time is not now. Excuse me, hiccup. Time just ain't now, man. Just don't push it. You gotta be patient. Patient. Wait. Buy dips when things look bullish. Things still look bullish. So hey, if you're buying some dips, if you're grabbing a couple shares of Amazon, Apple, Google right now, then more power to you. I think that's smart. Frankly, I'm not there yet, but god damn, man. I mean, look at that Apple. I mean, come on. Are you serious? It's just taking out recent highs, no sellers. I don't know what else to say. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I will talk to y'all later. Hopefully tomorrow's a little more action. It can't be worse than today, but hey, if it's just this very controlled sell-offs, low volume sell-offs, then I love it. I'll take it because I know it's going to give me opportunities to accumulate shares in companies I like at a smaller price, at a lower price, smaller price. And that's fine with me. So I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.